Welcome to the Dr. Grande 2024 Christmas Extravaganza. I'm here with my wife, Amy.
Hi.
And we have two special guests who don't really stay calm enough to leave outside the studio when recording. This is Maximus.
And Bella.
So we'll be taking a look at the decorations in the house this year.
Mm-hmm.
And how many Christmas trees are there for 2024?
5.
There's 5. Okay.
5 trees.
How many were there last year?
5.
There were 5. Okay. And next year it's going to 6.
Yes.
Or maybe 7.
Yes, maybe.
At least 6.
At least 6.
All right. So we'll take a look at the house in the condition with the lights on, like interior lights. And then at the end, we're going to take a look at the condition with just the Christmas lights.
Right.
So a little better visibility for the first part, but more of a kind of a unique feel for the second part, kind of a calm and quiet Christmas feel. We'll get started with the kitchen.
Just a hot cocoa tray and some cookies and chocolate-covered pretzels that I put together and set out there.
What's that? Is that like a baker's rack?
Yeah, that's our baker's rack. I don't typically decorate that, but I decided this year I was going to add some red and white decorations to that. I found the gingerbread sign this year up in Lancaster, so I really like the look of that.
So just for clarity, we live in Delaware, and you're talking about Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Lancaster.
Which isn't that far away from us.
Right, about an hour.
What do we have here?
The kitchen table with my round tray. I did that last year, and I keep changing it. I keep adding things to it as I find them, and it used to sit on the counter, and this year I just put it on the table instead.
This is the smallest tree?
That's our small tree. I think it's a 4-foot tree. I bought that ornament this year. That was a new ad, the big piece of candy. And I added some tiny little cupcakes this year. Different teapots and things. Yeah, that ornament I added this year. It was the cutest little pack of cupcakes all packaged together, and I just thought they were adorable, so I added that.
All right, so here we are moving back toward the fireplace. That sign's new this year?
The Merry Christmas sign is new. As soon as I saw it, I picked it up. I said, that's mine. I needed that. No idea where I was going to put it, but I needed it.
I like the red candles. Those are the battery operated.
Yeah, battery operated candles. I've kind of taken on a galvanized steel look for that room. I've got the trays on the wall, and now the sign is galvanized steel. So it's kind of, these themes just kind of develop by things that I find and like and put together. So that, I didn't intend for that sign to go there, but that's where it ended up this year. So the hot cocoa sign got moved to another wall for this year. That wall is going to look really bare when I take that sign down, because there hasn't been anything on that wall prior to Christmas. And I hung it there, so now it's going to look funny. So now I'll have to find something for every day.
Yeah, so something will have to be there all the time. All right, so this is moving into the family room.
That's our big tree that everybody decorates together. The boys usually bring it up. Everybody fluffs branches. The boys assemble it. I put the lights on it. And then I hand everybody ornaments, and it gets decorated. So that whole tree takes maybe an hour, hour and a half to put together, where if I did it by myself, it would probably take me all day. So.
And you have some stuff here on top of the mantle, the fireplace?
The mantle is basically the same as last year. The Santa picture was my mom's, and I just try to put things up there until I like the way they look. And I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out this year. I think there's some extra pieces on there that weren't there last year. and it kind of fills in the gaps, and I'm pleased with how that turned out.
Now this year you also have the Christmas Village under the TV.
Yes, that was the few pieces that I had last year were in the dining room. And I added some pieces this year. My friend passed away in July of this year, and she loved Christmas probably more than anybody else I know. And the boys used to help her decorate her house. And so when she passed away, her family invited us to come and pick a few of her pieces before anybody else was able to look at them. And so I took a few of her houses from her Christmas Village. So those are hers and my mom's combined. And I never lit my mom's. I didn't have cords or lights to go with them. And I had cords and lights for all the new pieces I got. So I added the lights. So now they're all lit up. And I really like the way they've turned out on that entertainment center this year. This is our traditional tree. And we've added some travel ornaments from cruises, Cozumel, Mexico. Bermuda we had last year. But Nassau, that one was hand carved. And we took a tour of Nassau this year, so I bought the ornament on our tour. So I think next year I'm going to take all the travel ornaments and I'm going to put them on a separate tree. I was going to do that this year, but then I ended up not feeling like I had enough ornaments to do that. But I think I do now. I got a pencil tree from another friend, and I think I'm going to use that to put all the travel ornaments on for next year.
Okay.
And I think that's going to go upstairs.
And there are no trees upstairs.
I don't have
now.
any trees upstairs right now, but I think that's going to go upstairs. I have a wall of travel pictures, and I think I'm going to put it next to that. So that should be good.
All right, so then moving out of the family room to the foyer.
So this is our 10-foot tree. And I've added ornaments, again, from my friend that passed away. So those are my grandfather's, they were my mom's, and now my friend's ornaments. So this tree has all old ornaments on it from my mom, my grandfather, and my friend, who are all no longer with us. So it's just a nice way to remember everybody and think about them at Christmas time.
So all these date back some time.
Yeah, mine, the ones that were from my mom were from my childhood. I remember those on our Christmas tree growing up. My grandfather's, I assume, are probably about the same age, and I don't know how old hers were. I have no history with that. I just know that they were putting Christmas stuff out for people to take, and I said, I'll take that box of ornaments, please. So I went through them. I didn't even look at them at the time. I just went through them as I was decorating and picked out what I liked and put them on that tree. And I've kind of filled that 10-foot tree up. And then I added the stockings this year. Those, we've had stockings over the years, but everything was kind of hodgepodge and mismatched. So I bought all white stockings this year to hang up. So I hung those on the...
Pretty good.
So this cabinet is new. I always put my nativity in the foyer, just because I want that to be the main thing you see when you come into the house. But that table is new, so it's a little different for me this year in terms of where I put everything and how I decorated it. So, but I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out.
So yeah, so the table's new, but it's designed to look like it's very old and beaten.
It's reclaimed wood.
Is that what that is?
Yes. And obviously you don't like it.
It just seems strange to, when you think of a new product, you think of something that's clean and the paint's complete and it doesn't look like it was thrown off a building, things like that. Things that I expect when
I like the rustic look.
I'm okay with it. This one just seems, especially the top of the table, very beat up, split at the one point on the right side. I guess that's all part of the look, though.
It's unique.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else will have one like it.
That's true. And this has lights inside too that you added.
Yeah, it's pretty dark in there. We had some holes drilled in the back so I could add some lights. I still need something on the sides, I feel like, but
More lights, maybe.
we'll figure that out.
So what do we have here?
This is the dining room. I always put my Disney tree in the dining room. This year I pulled out all my Christmas teapots and put them up on my shelf because this is my tea room where I have all my tea parties and whatnot. So I thought it was a nice touch to add the teapots up on my shelf.
Mm-hmm. Like a centerpiece there.
Yeah, my dough bowl with a big jingle bell and some greens.
And this tree, we talked about this tree last year as well. This has very intense lights on it.
It does. They're LED colored lights. I would put white lights everywhere, but you like the colored lights. So I figured, all right, we'll do colored lights, but they're going on Mickey. They're going on the Mickey tree. And it works because it's a very colorful tree. It's got so many different ornaments on it of different colors and whatnot. So it fits. It works for that.
So so the theme here pretty clearly Disney cruise.
Yeah, I always buy an ornament at the parks when we go. I've bought a couple cruise ornaments, but they don't change much. So the few that I have are pretty much it for every ship.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really buy those every year. But I do try to buy an ornament every time we go to the parks. And then I've got different ones that people have given me or just that I liked and picked up while I was in the parks or whatever. But I have a Mickey that's a photographer that somebody gave me. I have a Mickey that's a baker that somebody gave me, because those are all things that I like to do, and hobbies, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this tree has a lot of variety as far as
Yeah,
ornaments.
it really does.
And a Santa Claus hat on the top there.
Yeah, I keep thinking I need a different topper for that, but I haven't found a Disney topper that I like, or that wasn't ridiculously expensive. But I had somebody gave me the Mickey hat, and I was like, why not? So I put the Mickey hat on top of the tree. It works.
Very nice. So from this point in the foyer, you can see a number of the trees at the same time.
Yeah. There's Max, always wanting to play with a toy. Always wanting to play with a toy.
And now coming into the living room.
Yes. This doesn't really much change from year to year. I pretty much keep the same decorations in the same place every year. That I don't think I've ever changed out what's on that shelf. I used to do that at the other house, and I just always put that there. It works. I like it, and so that's kind of how it goes. Sometimes the order will change. I'll, rearrange how things go, but that I don't get very creative when it comes to changing that. I put it up years ago and I liked it the way it was, so that's kind of how it stays. Not throughout the year, but from year to year for Christmas. I have a Christmas lampshade that goes on that lamp every year. Not much changes there. This is the table that used to be in our foyer. It was very small for that 2-story wall. It just seemed very dwarfed. So that's why I got the bigger cabinet. And then I decided there's not a whole lot of furniture in the living room. So I put the table in the living room and ended up putting all my little Longaberger baskets on the lower shelves, and the tree is an Advent wreath. My mom, not Advent wreath, Advent calendar that the kids got from my mom years ago. She filled it up with different candies and notes and different things for the month of December, and then gave it to the kids and told me I had to do it from that point on. So then every year I would write notes. We would bake cookies or go see Christmas lights or whatever. I'd put $1 in there for each of the kids years ago.
Right. When that was, yeah.
When $1 would get you
them,
something, yeah. Or different pieces of candy or whatever. And they always used to be really excited to, can we open our door today? Can we open the door and see what's in there? Yeah, you can open the door. So obviously they're grown now and we don't really do that, but I still like it, so I put it out as a reminder.
So there's nothing in behind
There's
the doors.
nothing in it this year. I can fill it for you if you like. Just fill it for the dogs. Teach them to open the little door.
And this is a special tree for you.
That's my mom's tree. She's been gone 13 years. We thought she was crazy when she bought that tree. And after she passed away, I said, I really would like to have that tree. So there it is. Try to keep her here.
It's a great tree. It turned out pretty well.
It did. It fits that room. It's very rustic. It has wooden ornaments. It has fabric ornaments. It has raffia bows that she actually tied. Some rusty tin ornaments and just different rustic type stuff. So I add to it here and there when I find something that I really like. This year I found some real pretty wooden snowflakes that I thought would look nice on it. So I added those this year. That tree rotates. And it's funny because I've seen rotating trees in stores like almost every year for my whole life. But people still walk in and they're like, your tree is turning. Yeah, it's on a rotating base. I don't know. I just remember seeing them in stores all the time. But
not a new technology.
No, it doesn't seem to be, but people still get excited about it. The tree is turning. So
that was with all the lights on, not only the Christmas lights, but all the lights in the house.
Right.
Even though it was recorded at night,
right.
The house gets pretty bright because we have
we do have a lot of lights.
A lot of lighting. So this is what it looks like if only Christmas lights are on.
We keep it pretty dark.
Yeah.
We don't usually turn all the lights on unless people are here, but we like to sit, especially at night when we're watching TV, we turn all the lights off but leave the tree lights on and just kind of sit in the dark and enjoy just the Christmas lights.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it's enough to maneuver through the house with no problem because you have so many Christmas trees. Yeah.
When you have 5 trees, it does light up the house pretty well.
So this is the informal dining room. Again, the small tree with the teapots. This is what it looks like with just the Christmas-themed lights on.
Those battery candles are pretty bright, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they come out nice and when all the lights are off. Fireplaces, the gas fireplace is on too.
Yeah.
In this shot.
You can see the reflection of the other tree in the window.
In the back window, yeah. Those little battery candles do a good job on that mantle on that side. And the other side too. Gas fireplace, much easier to maintain than a wood burning.
Yeah, I like being able to flip a switch. And,
yeah, pretty happy with that.
Yeah, the dogs too.
Yeah. Here's the family room tree with the village next to it. Really bright, all white lights.
Yes, that's my favorite tree. I mean, my mom's tree is my favorite because it was hers, but that I love that tree. I've always loved that tree. It's nice and bright. It's classic red, white, and green, and I've always liked that tree.
The dogs maneuver pretty well in the dark too.
Yeah, they do. They've gotten so used to it being dark.
It's now moving to the foyer. That tree is pretty bright as well.
That is a bright tree. Those are LED lights, and it's 10 feet tall, so it does throw off a lot of light.
So now moving through the foyer, the reclaimed wood table, very bright with the lights off,
Yeah.
with the main lights off.
That's just one string of lights that I stuck through there, plus the top regular light. But none of them are very bright. They're those little, they're not fairy lights. They're called Bryce lights or something like that. So they're tiny little bulbs. They're not anything super bright, but because it was so dark and they're in that enclosed space, they do throw off a nice little bit of light.
They do a good job in there. Now, looking at the formal dining room, you can see how that has kind of a laser look to it.
Yeah, those lights are very intense. They're LED as well, and they are very intense.
Yeah, and you can see here the green and red. Those are from the exterior lights,
Right.
but you can see them through the blinds
Yeah.
inside. And then we have the living room and the rotating.
We didn't turn those lights
True.
off.
You could count those as Christmas lights because they have Christmas shades.
They do have Christmas shades, but that room is very dark anyway. Even with the lights on, that room is very dark. And that tree those lights are very, very tiny, so they don't throw off a lot of light. So that room is always very dark.
So that's what everything looks like with only the Christmas themed lights on.
Mm-hmm.
And any last thoughts about Christmas this year?
It took me 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
to decorate, and so we started November 1st. Actually, we started bringing totes up 2 days before Halloween and stacking them in the living room. And it took me about 15 days of decorating to get everything done. And so now I'm just enjoying it and not looking forward to putting it away.
Yeah.
The house seems so empty when it's not out. So, and we have, it's not in our way. We have the space to be able to have these trees and not have them disrupt. I know not everybody has that. Some people have to rearrange furniture and whatnot to put up a tree, but we're fortunate enough we don't have to do that. So it's not in our way, and I like having it up, and it feels very empty in here when it's all gone. I like having the decorations. I like having doggies too.
Yeah, definitely a lot of
Sometimes.
trips up. A lot of trips up from the basement and down after Christmas.
Yeah, there are a lot of Christmas totes.
Well, very good. I hope you enjoyed our Christmas extravaganza for 2024. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
We'll be back with videos pretty soon. I think cruise videos next
Cruise review video.
in early 2025. So again, Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you soon.